Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun. In the last part we got here to the woods, and now, as you can see by my stats, I've done some level grinding. I've went up to 12. However, that was actually consequences gold farming to get some new equipment. I got everyone some broadswords, well aside from Ivan obviously. I got him a new weapon actually. I got him the Witch's Wand. You find this in the Weapon Shop's Artifacts submenu, which is pretty much one-of-a-kind items that you can sell and rebuy from the Artifacts menu and over again. And the only reason I did this... Well, actually, the only reason I did the grinding was because I needed the gold, and I just got those levels along the way. It's also around now that we start finally getting some decent-ish puzzles. Though log-pushing puzzles, I'm going to admit, are a majority of them, but that's not the game's fault. That's the first game in the series. Golden Sun Lost Age, I believe. I know for a fact Dark Dawn fixes it to a good extent. Have much more interesting puzzles past a certain point. Not to say this one doesn't have variety, though. Now, I forget where it is, but there is a nut in a tree somewhere in this screen to the next. Speaking of this next screen, we got a really interesting puzzle. We got a water gate here, I forget what it's actually called. I think it's a floodgate, that's the word. And we can open it or close it to fill that little lake up or drain the water from it. We need to drain the water so we can move the logs around in order to get to either our destination or a pretty decent item, which of course I'm going to go for. Whenever it comes to log pushing puzzles, I'll admit to this. The easiest way to figure out how to get to it, like that chest up there, is to figure out how the logs need to be arranged first off. Like, just put not even on a pad and paper, just like put your finger on the screen, kind of draw it with your finger, figure out how they need to be arranged. And then figure out how to go backwards from there to make it happen. If that made sense. Really wish you could move when the log was moving, though. I think Dark Dawn fixes that. I don't recall, though. It's been about a year since I last played it. By the way, I love the song in this area. Then again, as I have stated numerous times, and will continue to state numerous times, this game's soundtrack is incredible. And by bouncing across here, we can get to the item. By the way, you're going to notice that the logs reset in a moment. Item is a fur coat. That is actually a pretty decent equipment item that I'm going to give to Ivan. It resists water, which is always good for him, but the defense is great. Now, as you're going to notice here, the logs are going to reset right about now. That's because I actually left the screen and came back in. That's how you reset the stuff. I actually already made the move for the... I already moved the log so I can progress onwards. The only thing you need to do is push this one log left. But it's nothing too hard. You can figure it out on your own pretty easily. And here we are at the end of the place. Or at least we will be at that random encounter to interrupt me. This is where the trees are. And she's all like, oh, it's pretty much useless now, where it's already too late, blah, 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 blah. And she wants us to leave. However, let's go talk with Tret. Ah, he's red. And evil Tret's apparently being a douche, so we need to go put him in his place. Welcome to the next dungeon in the game, the Tret Tree. Really unsettling music for this area. And it's here we also get our first really good puzzle, the leaves. These are fairly simple things. How they work is that you jump on them, they get crumbly, when you jump off of them at least. You jump on the crumbled leaf, like the ones that are showing up right now, and you'll fall below into the next room. In fact, our destination is actually the first floor, because we entered on the second. But we get some new enemies. Spiders! 69 HP, weak to fire, strong against earth. They can drop antidotes, so if you get poisoned, that's pretty decent. Now, it's in here that you kind of have to make a choice. By the way, if I'm not taking an alternate route, that's because there's nothing there, really. What am I doing? Here we go. See, there's two leaves in here, and you can either go get the Synergy Stone and fall down to the next floor, get this chest, you can fall down to the next floor, or just continue on. I want to get the healing ring here because it's actually pretty useful. That is an accessory that you use to restore 70 HP, but if I recall correctly, when you equip it, it continually restores some. And now I fall down into the previous floor. Really, though, pretty simple area. Albeit, actually, I'm only now getting this. It reminds me a lot of the Deku tree for some reason from Ocarina of Time. And thusly the Maku tree from the Oracle duology. Actually, yeah, there's even a boy and a girl one. It is the Maku tree. Sweet. Also, for some reason, the way that the flashlight covers around you reminds me of Mega Man 7. Anyway, over here we got a Jupiter Djinn, who is going to fight us. By the way, I should mention, certain Djinn have the ability to flee from battle. If they do so, you have to leave the screen, come back in some cases redo a puzzle in order to get back to them. Anyway, this Jupiter Djinn here has 243 HP, weak to earth and strong against, well, wind. Nothing too bad, though. If I recall correctly, actually, which one is this? I forget. Either way, also, as you can see, from all my level grinding, I've gotten quite a few new Psi energies, which are somewhat useful, some of them aren't. The Volcano one and the Spire one are really good. Anyway, we got Breeze. Breeze here, I'm gonna first off give to, Ivan. Boosts your party's resistance when used in battle. Resistance, if I recall correctly, is, magic defense. I never really recall what much of the stats do, I just know that when they're high, that's good. And we got another nut. And there's nothing we can really do in this part of the tree, so we just have to fall down to the previous, floor. And now we need to exit from the west of this floor, which, since I exited from the south first, you know, it's weird, because I'm so used to playing the game right now, whenever I see that transition pop up, I think I'm actually going to have to watch the battle. Really sudden battle transition, too. The one thing I do like about the game is that when the battle ends, there's quite a few battle end transitions it can play. Unlike certain games where it just fades back in. It's a weird detail, yes, but I like it. Anyway, now we need to fall down to the center, because, you may notice, there's a hole in the center of every single one of the floors. Which is how we get down to the first floor, where the end of this dungeon awaits us. Pretty simple place, honestly. There is one enemy I didn't run into this place, which is a creeper, which is a ghost-type enemy. I think it's weak to fire. I forget how much HP it has, though. Anyway, apparently Tret has two faces. And since we're in the heart of him, his power is all here. So he's gonna fight us for our first actual boss, Tret. 710 HP, weak to fire, strong against wind. He has quite a few decent attacks, actually. I recommend using Forge and the other Djinn to make yourself raise your stats as soon as you can. And summons, especially the ones that require two, like the Ramses one and the Atalanta one that we now have access to. I'll show off Ramses in a couple momentarily. That's all the better. If you have visited the Mercury Lighthouse, which I've mentioned you can go to before this, you'll have another party member, which will make this all the easier, though. Tret does like to use Sleep Star quite often, which can put some of your party members to sleep. Luckily, sleep can be removed just by hitting them. However, honestly, he's not too hard, though I gotta admit, he looks creepy. Actually, he looks like a gigantic whale head. Really dig the music, too. Not my favorite kind of boss theme, but still. Anyway, the thing is, with the level 2 onward summons, they have an animation that plays, obviously. However, I'm only going to show the animation of each summon once in full, then I'm just going to press the A button during it to skip it. That includes enemy attacks, too. By the way, I should mention that thing looks a lot cooler in Lost Age onwards, because it's essentially Mecha Pharaoh. Well, mind you, it kind of looked like that already, but pretty much imagine Gundam in a pyramid. Honestly, though, keep yourself healed up as long as you can, do as much damage as quick as possible, and you in Tret should go down pretty quickly. Mind you, I'm gonna say that's kind of a thing that a lot of the game's bosses have. They're not terribly difficult, but they can still pose some threats, so make sure you just take them out as fast as you can. You know, it's kind of weird seeing a head with no neck. Growth, as far as my experience has always gone, he always uses it on people that are asleep, so I'm guessing there's some sort of AI script thing going on there. I know that's also a psi energy we can learn later on. But, yeah, as I've stated a couple times now, he's nothing too hard, and damn! By the way, that can stun enemies, which is pretty much paralysis. And now we have a vine. But since we now destroyed the harsh personality, the kind one's back in action. He has no memory of this, apparently. Or at least no big memory. But apparently slicing a tree to pieces kills it, because Tret's dying anyway. Hey, wait a minute, we can't let Tret die like this. That's right, Isaac, we still need his help. And yes, we do need something. Apparently he doesn't even realize that he turned the people into trees, and he's gonna try and turn them back into humans before he leaves us. However, his power is too weak and cannot reach Kolima, and then he dies. Tret's too weak, he doesn't have the power to save Kolima. No, we have to heal him. We can't let the people of Kolima die with the forest. Every life in Kolima depends on us. We have to restore Tret and save the people of Kolima. Now, they never directly tell you where to go, so I'm just gonna tell you, we need to head north of Biblin. That's the area where the next big dungeon is, so we're gonna have to head in that direction fairly shortly. If you haven't gotten to, like, level 10 by now, or level 11, I recommend grinding for that now. Because, I actually recommend you be level 10 for Tret himself, so, yeah. Pretty much for recommended levels for this, for the majority of the Let's Play, just take my levels and subtract 1 or 2, and that's my general recommended level. Considering I have 5,000 experience points, which I don't think I would get until the end of the next dungeon. Anyway, if we head north of Biblin and head west a tad more, we can see a cave, which is our next destination. I'm just gonna tell you right now, that is the Cave of Biblin, or the Biblin Cave entrance. But with that, I'm gonna need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 9, we'll be checking out the Biblin Cave and seeing what we can find in it, and hopefully beyond it. See you guys then.